Hello children, myself Divya Sharma from Shivjyoti Education Group Kota. How are you all doing? I hope you are well and keeping safe at home. Children, today we are going to study chapter number 9 of your English text. So take out your books, Gulmohar Language for Life, chapter number 9, Hidi in the City, page number 81. Now the characters of the story are Hidi, who is a young girl, she is 5 years old, Detty, her aunt, Miss Rottenmeier, the housekeeper, Sebastian, the butler, and Clara Sessman is a lonely girl. What happens? Hidi, she misses the countryside, the Alps mountain from where she has come. She is a very innocent girl and does not know the difficulties of the city life. And she is a very good companion for Clara, who is a sick girl. And she is of very kind nature. Now let us start with the explanation of the chapter. Hidi is an orphan of 5 years. She lives with her grandfather high up in the Alps and loves her life in the mountains. Orphan is a child whose parents are dead. Then one day her aunt Detty comes to take her to Frankfurt to be a companion to a lonely girl, Clara Sessman. Clara adores Hidi, but the housekeeper, Miss Rottenmeier, is very strict with her. Hidi longs to go back to her grandfather and friends in the Alps, as she finds city life very difficult. Now what happens? Hidi is a 5-year orphan girl and she lives with her grandfather high up in the Alps. Alps is a mountain range in Switzerland, and she loves her life in the mountains. Then one day what happened? Detty, her aunt, comes to take her to Frankfurt, where she has to be a companion to the lonely girl whose name is Clara Sessman. And Clara adores Hidi very much. She loves and respects Hidi very much. But the housekeeper, Miss Rottenmeier, is very strict with Hidi. Hidi longs to go back to her grandfather and friends in the Alps. Now Hidi wishes to go back to her grandfather and to her friends because she is finding lot of difficulties in the city life. Over here in the first paragraph you have two new words, companion and housekeeper. Okay, underline these two new words. Now let us read about her first experience in the city. Now let us further read about what is the experience of Hidi in the city. When Hidi opened her eyes the next morning, she found herself on a high bed in a large room. She was eager to look at the sky and the ground below, as she had always done at home. Now next morning when Hidi opens her eyes, she found herself in a large room on a bed, and she was very impatient. She was very eager to look at the sky and have a view of outside from the window. But the windows were too high for her, so that she can look outside the window. So the poor child felt like she is a bird who has been caught in a cage. Over here you have your third new word, that is trapped. Hidi asked the butler Sebastian if he could open one of the windows for her. Sebastian readily agreed. He opened a window and helped her up on a stool so she could look outside. Hidi was very disappointed. Now what happened? Hidi asked the butler, whose name was Sebastian, if he could help her out to see the view from the window. So he provided her with a stool. He opened the window and helped her up on a stool so that she could look outside. You can see Hidi stands on a stool to look outside the window. Hidi was very disappointed. Now when she looked out of the window, she was very sad. I don't see anything but a street of stone. Is it the same way on the other side of the house? She asked sadly. Now Hidi asked Sebastian that I cannot see except the street of stone. Is it the same way on the other side too? Yes, replied Sebastian. Where do you go to look far down on everything? Asked Heidi. Now Sebastian replied that yes, Heidi, it's correct. Now she asked Sebastian that then where do you go to look far down the street? Everything. A church tower. Do you see that one over there with the golden dome? From there you can see everything, said Sebastian. Now Sebastian said that a church tower. We see the view from the church tower. Heidi immediately stepped down from the stool and ran downstairs. Opening the door, she found herself in the street. At one corner, she saw a boy. Heidi ran to him and asked, "Can you show me a church with a tower?" Now, as soon as Sebastian told her that from the church tower you can have a better view of the city, then Heidi immediately stepped down the stairs and opened the door, and she found herself in the street. So at one corner she saw a boy, and Heidi ran to ask him that, "Can you please show me a church with a tower?" "Yes, I can. Come," he said. Arriving at an old church with a tower, Heidi pulled the bell with all her might. An old man opened the door. Arriving is your next new word. Underline this new word as well. Now the old man, arriving at the old church with a tower, Heidi pulled the bell. She put her whole strength to pull the bell. And then old man opened the door. "Why have you rung the bell?" he asked. The old man asked Heidi that, "Why have you rung the bell?" "I want to see the tower," replied Heidi. "All right, come along," he said. The two climbed up many steps to the top. The old man lifted Heidi up to the open window. She saw a sea of chimneys, roofs and towers, and her heart sank. "Oh dear, it's different from the way I thought it would be," she cried. Now, when she went at the top, the old man lifted Heidi up and to open the window, and what she saw a sea of chimneys, a large area full of chimneys, roofs and towers, and her heart sank. She was very sad to see the view. Why? Because it was different from the way she thought it to be. On their way back, they passed an attic where a large grey cat guarded her kittens in a basket. Now, when they were going back to their home, they passed by an attic where they saw a large cat who was taking care of her kittens in the basket. Guarded is your next new word. You can underline it in your books. "What lovely kittens!" she exclaimed. She was very happy to see the kittens. "Would you like to have one?" the old man asked. The old man asked Heidi that, "Would you like to have one kitten to keep?" Heidi asked. "Yes, of course," the old man said, glad to find a good home for the kittens. How happy Heidi was. The old man put one kitten in each of her pockets, and she happily climbed down the tower. The old man was very happy to find a good home for the kittens, and he put one kitten each in her pocket, and Heidi was very happy. The boy was waiting for her downstairs. Heidi described the way to Mr. Sisman's house, and soon she found herself pulling the doorbell. When Sebastian opened the door, he exclaimed, "Hurry up, Miss Rottenmeier is very angry." Now, when she reaches home, then Sebastian asked her to quickly come in the house, as Miss Rottenmeier was very angry. Heidi went inside and sat down quietly in a chair. Miss Rottenmeier began seriously. "How could you leave the house without telling anyone? That was very careless." Now Miss Rottenmeier says Heidi that how could you leave the house without telling anyone? That is very careless behavior. "Meow," was the reply. Now what was the reply? It was meow. "How dare you make fun of me?" shouted Miss Rottenmeier. Now hearing the sound of meow, Miss Rottenmeier was very angry, and she said that, "How can you make fun of me?" "I didn't," Heidi began. "Meow." Sebastian nearly threw the dish on the table and disappeared. Now the sound was being made by the little kittens. Okay, and Sebastian put the dishes on the table and then he went away. This is enough, Miss Rottenmeier. Her voice was rough with anger. Get up and leave the room. Now Miss Rottenmeier asked Heidi to leave the room. Heidi got up and said, I made meow, meow, meow. Heidi said, Clara, now, why are you saying meow when you can see that Miss Rottenmeier is angry? Now, Clara says Heidi that why are you making the sound meow again and again when you know that Miss Rottenmeier is very angry with your behavior? I am not doing it, it's the kittens, she explained. Now Heidi says that I am not making that sound of meow, it's the kittens. Explained is your another new word, so you can mark it in your book. What? Kittens? Miss Rottenmeier screamed. Sebastian, take those horrible things away. Now, Rottenmeier was very surprised. She said, kittens are making that sound? Then she asked Sebastian to take those horrible things away from the home. Horrible means bad. Okay, so this is your new word. You can underline that, and screamed is also your new word. You can underline it in your books. With that, she ran into the study, locking herself in, for she feared cats a lot. Now she went away to the study where she locks herself as she is very scared of cats. When Sebastian had finished laughing, he came into the room. Clara and Heidi were playing happily with the kittens. Now, when Sebastian finished laughing, he was laughing, and he sees that Clara and Heidi are very happy and they both are playing with the kittens. Sebastian promised to look after the kittens and prepare a bed for them in a basket, and he promises them that he will look after the kittens and prepare a bed for them in the basket. The children went happily to bed with the thought that the kittens had a comfortable bed. Now both of them went to bed and they were very happy, thinking that now the kittens would get a comfortable bed to sleep. This is an extract from Heidi by Johanna Spyri. This was the explanation of the chapter. Now I'll discuss the word meanings. Okay, now let's discuss the word meanings. Your first word is often, a child whose parents are dead. Second is longs to, that means hopes or wishes to. Now, third word is dome, which means the round roof of a building. Fourth word is seriously, that means speaking in an important manner, not joking. So these are the 4 word meanings. Now I'll discuss the copy work with you all. Before starting the copy work, draw red margins, okay? Write lesson 9, Heidi in the city, and underline the headings. Then give the heading new words, underline it. So your first new word is companion. Companion means partner. Housekeeper. Housekeeper is a person who supervises the domestic household work. Okay. Trapped. As I told you, trapped means caught. Fourth word is arriving. Guarded is the 5th word, that means to take care of. 6th word is explained. 7th word is screamed, that means to shout. 8th word is horrible, that means very bad. Now we'll discuss the word meaning. Give the heading word meaning, underline it. First word is often, a child whose parents are dead. Second word is longs to, that means hopes or wishes to. Third word is dome, the round roof of a building. Seriously, fourth word is seriously, that means in an important manner. The question answer, answer the following. Question number 1 is, why did Sebastian tell Heidi about the church tower? Sebastian told Heidi about the church tower because Heidi wanted to see other different views in the city. As Heidi wanted to see the views of the city life, so Sebastian told Heidi about the church tower from where she could see the view of the city. Question number 2 is, did Heidi like being in the city? How do you know? Answer, no. Heidi did not like being in the city. She found herself trapped and also did not like the views from the church tower. She was not happy at all seeing the view of the city, and she also felt herself caught like a bird in a cage. Question number 3. What was Heidi trying to explain? Heidi was trying to explain that the noises were not being made by her but by the kittens. Now the noises meow meow which were being made, it was not Heidi who was making these noises, it was the little kittens. Question number 4. What did Miss Rottenmeier ask Sebastian to take away? Why did she do so? Answer, Miss Rottenmeier asked Sebastian to take away the kittens. She did so because she was afraid of cats. Now, Rottenmeier asked Sebastian to take away the kittens because she was very afraid of the kittens. These were the question answers. Now, next is read the line and answer the questions. Line is, how dare you make fun of me? Question, who is the speaker? The speaker is the housekeeper, Miss Rottenmeier. Who is you here? You refers to Heidi. Why did she say these words? She said these words to Heidi as she left the house without telling anyone. Now let's discuss make sentences. The first word is lonely. Ruchi was lonely and sad. You have to underline the word lonely. Second word is adore. Adore means love and respect for someone. I adore my parents. Underline adore. Third word is disappointed. My father was disappointed with my result. Disappointed means very sad. The fourth word is reply. Ankit did not reply to my email. You have to underline reply. So, this was all about the copy work, children. Do the work very beautifully and neatly, and also read the chapter. Thank you.